Goodness me. Starting later and later every day.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbit of Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
I'm gonna pretend this is not a nipple, just in case. Okay, Mr. YouTube. Yeah, I know, but I don't exactly know how strict is YouTube with nipples. I know on Instagram it's a no-no. Oh, God. Okay. It's so hard to take advantage of this, because the faster I go, the lighter the value, and the slower it is, the darker. Maybe this is a technique I can use with this. Instead of trying to control the edge with the brush, I can just roughly lay down the shape and then use the eraser to control the shape of what I'm drawing. That's cool. I also wanted to try to screen record while I'm streaming. I don't think there's gonna be any issue with it, but it's worth trying. Rather go beyond. can erase. That's a cool effect. Let's see. This is another way to do this. So I just draw the shape and then I fill it over. Doesn't have to be precise. And then I can clean it up. That way I can control the gradient. Or I could even make a new layer. That's interesting. Can you merge here like in Photoshop? Yeah. Or I could just simply use the lasso, right? What if I draw a cool shape? That's convenient. Come on, Krita, how do I add? No, this is to remove, subtract. Should be shift. Life is cruel. Shift alt? No? Control alt? What the hell is this? Oh, it's to sharpen. Control shift? Nope. Okay, I give up. I really need to change these shortcuts for Krita because it's really confusing. A quick one, and I will try the recording. Hell yeah. My figures might be average, but my boxes? Top notch. Only I could get paid to draw boxes all day. Like this. What's it gonna be? Let's stop the recording. Kind of want to check how heavy that thing is. Folders, folders, folders. OBS videos. Ow. 0.15 gigabytes for 16 minutes. too bad. Okay, I know I might be jinxing it, but we gotta rise the stakes. I'm about to perform another perfect box. Just have to announce it before it happens, because I know it's worth mentioning. Perfect boxes. This is what we train for. This is why we build up skill. For just this moment. Now Weeby is hyped. What will I do? Getting distracted by a hand, you know? I'm procrastinating drawing the box by drawing a freaking hand. This is the type of artist I am. I mean, it's already perfect. A perfect square. Just missing depth, but... just missing one axis. Well, this corner is a bit dodgy, but... it's a box with personality, okay? I've seen a lot of things. You never know. You never know with boxes. Places they've been, the things they've seen, nasty things that have been inside of them, or good things too. Not everything is terrible. And here we go. I can tell you, I don't need perspective lines. You could just project these lines and they will all meet at a perfect vanishing point. And then you could project these lines too and they would meet at a perfect vanishing point and they would match up in the horizon line. It's just perfect. And if they don't match, it's because you lined up the lines wrong. What can I say about that? Not everybody can do perfect straight lines. And you see this hair? I know it's a monochrome drawing. I'm pretending that I'm using a pencil when I'm actually just rubbing a few pieces of plastic. But by looking at this hair, you can see that this woman is a redhead. It's the floniness. Is that even a word? Speaking of plastic, I'll check it later. Perfect sheep inside the box. Well, now that the hard part has been done, I can just go back to doing the hand. No, I do not know the reference about the sheep. Could pretend I do, but We do not pretend here. It's a place of truth. It's from The Little Prince. The kid asks the pilot to draw him a ship. Okay, kids. This is the secret, to draw interesting hands. I mean, it's a pretty average, terrible hand, but it's sitting on top of a perfect box. Plus, there is this negative shape. And I'm talking about the negative shape. Nothing else. It's just so appealing. Such a suggestive shape. I can just draw it here. Look. It's... That's the shape. You see? You just look at this shape. It's speaking to me. And after several terrible attempts, the pilot draws a box and tells the kid that the ship is inside, and the kid absolutely loves it. That's lateral thinking. You could call it thinking outside the box, but it was actually drawing inside the box. Okay. Just push this hip. You can have wider hips, woman. Vertical lines. Okay. I have to get rid of that shape. It's too suggestive. One repetition of it is enough. And we have another screen capture of a drawing. Tap in the horn. A few pieces of plastic. Load to drawing. Thinking. Oh yes, I did want to check out the description of the stream. Figure drawing using Krita. Great. Didn't you write it yourself? Yes, I did write it myself, but it's nearly 4 a.m. and I don't remember what I wrote today or yesterday or today's or yesterday. I don't know. Something like that. The thing is, with YouTube, the description in the box from live stream carries over to the next live stream you do, the title and everything, so you need to update everything every time you go live. It's kind of, I guess, made for lazy people that always stream with the same title and the same description. We have little space here. Should I? Yeah, I guess we can just move on and... Or I could draw a little bit of something. This one's interesting. Like this. Let's do a quick one. Right. Start doing a quick one and I run out of music. Really, I'm liking this pose. I'm gonna do a full one. Right. Music. Should I be lazy and repeat the same playlist? Or let's risk it. Alright. I think I'm gonna draw the last one and call it a day. Will you fit here? Oh, Kyo is here. Well, you're not late. I'm streaming super late. How was your day, Kyo? Are you free from the burden of work? Ready to face the weekend? And fill up all your free time with drawing? Yes, you're free from work. That's good. Oh, I see. So you're looking for an apartment. Yeah, you have to kill all your free time doing that. It can be cool to find a new place to live, but depending on the reasons you're looking for a new apartment, that's kind of hell. Yeah, the irony is that I'm pretty sure it also happens to you. The busier you are, the more productive you can be. Because sometimes when you have a lot of free time, you assume that you're gonna do a lot of work and then you end up not getting much done. But when you are on a tight schedule, you try to take advantage of every free moment you have. Remember, I had a job and we used to have like compulsory breaks every 2 hours, and you had a 15-minute break. And I would do like long shifts, like 10, 12, sometimes 14 hours, but you had a 15-minute break every 2 hours. And I would just fill up sketchbooks in those 15 minutes. This shadow is so cool. That's true. That's me when I'm busy and driven. But I also do this thing where I knowing that something is coming up, I don't do anything in the time between then and now due to indecision. Oh yeah. I think that has a name. Or at least I call it the waiting mode. Almost like a condition that a lot of people suffer from. For instance, if you, I don't know, let's say you have an interview or a meeting at 6 p.m. and it's a Saturday and you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden your Saturday is just on hold because you have that thing at 6 p.m. And it's like literally you have the entire day for yourself, but it feels like you cannot do anything. Oh yeah. Yeah, I get that. It can also stretch to periods of time. Yeah, I never thought about it that way, but it's true. Like, you have stupid things going on and then that takes all your time. I'm actually literally doing that now that I think, because I'm doing this Kimo challenge, doing figure drawing, and it's like, it's taking a big chunk of my drawing time every day. So I'm already thinking, okay, I have to wait until the end of the month so I can actually go back to drawing my regular things. And it's so stupid because I could literally draw a figure in 2 minutes and I'm done with the challenge. I'm just overcomplicating my life because yeah, I wonder why we do that. All that brain power. You haven't done any yet. Oh man, I thought you'd be killing it. Well, sometimes the quick, lazy ones come up really nice, so we'll see. And it's true that in a way I'm kind of in waiting mode and this is taking a lot of my time, but also I think it's good that I give myself an excuse to enjoy live drawing because it's been a while since I do figure drawing and I'm really loving it right now. Oh yeah, but that works too because you're still doing the practice and the challenge, but it lines up with your personal projects. I've been watching your last video this afternoon, and you make a really good point about the focus and attention, like the fact of being able to lock on when you're drawing from imagination that you don't really get when you're drawing from reference. And I think that's really one of the things I find so appealing about the idea of drawing from imagination, that it's just that. You just open the canvas and nothing else. You don't have to be dealing with photos, you don't have to be dealing with 3D, you don't have to be thinking of solutions, and yeah, it's really well put together. And also the idea of creative solutions, because usually when you can use reference, or well, not that you can always use reference, but when you go for reference, you try to find the solution to draw that thing perfectly, or draw that thing accurately, or draw that thing with the right lining or the right volume. But when you're drawing from imagination, literally anything goes. Like, you can just make an abstract shape because you don't want to draw that, or you don't know how to draw that, or you can overlap something on top of that so you can hide that thing, or you can just make something that looks beautiful but it's completely unrelated to what you would have found on a reference. And yeah, it opens up so many possibilities. Thanks for watching it. Yeah, that was something that I was really excited to experience repeatedly, with awareness of this being a very useful practice. Yeah, because I was thinking about it right now, because when I do a session of live drawing like this, or figure drawing, or whatever you call it, I usually prepare all my reference beforehand. And still, that's a step that I find kind of annoying, because it's a step that it's part of the drawing practice, but you're actually not drawing. But usually what I do is I just gather all my reference, I put it in one folder or whatever, or put it on the table, or open the books in whatever page I want to look at. And whenever I start my drawing session, it's almost like timer mode. You just go in and lock on. And that's also really cool. I think that's why also this type of practice is so addictive. But whenever you're trying to do something else that involves multiple disciplines, it's really easy to get distracted. And I don't mean getting distracted as in, oh, I got carried away by something else and I stopped drawing. I mean just multitasking instead of just drawing. I find that really exhausting when you have to, you know, walk out of the canvas and then go open a folder and find that photo, or now zoom in into this reference of a hand, or now this is not working and you go get a 3D model that is going to do that for you, or you go and find whatever color reference for the background, and all that stuff kind of piles up and makes the drawing experience kind of a really stressful mess, and then it doesn't feel like joyful drawing anymore. I used to do that as well, the ref gathering. I still have monumental size pure ref bores from when I was still scared of not having a reference. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I used to get, I don't do that anymore. Like now if I use reference, I'm gonna get like 2 or 3 things that are the key elements that I want to focus on that painting, and I'm just not gonna move out of that. It's just gonna be my reference. But yeah, I used to do that, like fill up like entire Photoshop files with multiple images that I think might be useful for the image that I'm working, and mood boards and stuff. And then you're drawing just looking at all that and moving up and down and trying to squeeze everything you have in the reference into your painting, and it becomes like a Frankenstein. But yeah, the gathering reference for the life model is different, because it's more like, okay, I'm just gonna draw these 10 figures today, and I just pile them up, and I just look at one, draw that figure, move to the next one. And that's not multitasking, that's literally just drawing. It's like having almost a guided live session. Put the reference away. Oh, that's cool. And also a kind of trick, you could say, a way to trick myself that I found, and I didn't do that on purpose. I was just like, I was following Steven's advice, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna draw from purely imagination, and whenever I have a problem, I look for reference. So I start drawing with the mindset of like, this is just throwaway, I'll just find the right reference once I find a cool pose. And the magic is that sometimes just by doing that, by tricking myself into thinking that I can use reference, I end up making a cool pose, a cool drawing, or a cool idea. And then I don't want to look for reference, because then it's going to change my original drawing. And I'm like, no, now I'm locked into my drawing, and I'm just going to keep working on it because this is cooler than any reference I could find. But I still find really hard to be honest about that and keep doing that process and then finishing those pieces and sharing those pieces. It's I think knowing you have dozens of refs to choose from kind of tells your mind that you don't need to commit to figuring anything out on your own, so you don't have ideas. Yeah, exactly. It's like you give up your ideas. Yeah, it's totally true. Like, yeah, if I compare it to real life, when I was living in my van and I was in the middle of whatever, like gravel road, a few hours away from any city, and something breaks down and you don't even have signal on your phone, and it's like, it's pure creativity. You're just there and it's like, okay, I have the tools I have. How do I fix this? How I make this work? How I manage to get to that place? How am I gonna spend the night here? How am I gonna... Because you just gotta solve it all. But if you are in your home and you have access to YouTube and you have access to Amazon, it's like, it's so easy to be like, oh, this happened, and you find the little thing that you can buy and a video that shows you how to change that thing, and it's like, yeah, you get the thing sorted and the job done, but it's it's not enjoyable, it's not creative, it's not fulfilling at a personal level. So true, those creative discoveries and insights you randomly come up in those times are insights that really stick with you the longest. Yeah, that's so true, exactly. Because anything I might learn from this figure drawing right now, it's like, yeah, I might have a little moment of, whoa, I really like how I made that core shadow with just 2 strokes, or I really like how this shape transfers into this other form, or anything, those little things. But it's really easy to forget, and it's really unlikely that you replicate that in any other drawing, let alone in a drawing from imagination. But whenever you find a cool solution in a drawing that you just drew completely from scratch, it's kind of, that thing sticks with you forever. It's like, once you've done it once, it's almost like you can do it anytime you want, because it's like an unlocked skill. Here you can have a successful drawing and next one might be trash. But with your own things, it's like, yeah, the next one might still be trash, but because you're trying something different. But if you want to repeat what you did, it's likely that you will succeed in getting the exact same result.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful. Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions. Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO. Beautiful, beautiful.
When I flip through my sketchbook, it's cool seeing the humble beginnings of stuff that emerged, and then notice that the interesting motif I used in my recent art was older than I thought. Oh yeah, I get what you mean. Like, it's like those little things that make your art look like your art, like that you've been perfecting and refining, but if you look backwards in time, you can already see that, but just underdeveloped. Yeah, it's That's really cool when that happens. When you look at your own drawings and you're like, when did I draw this? Like, that is so awesome. And I feel like there is an expectation related to time when it comes to drawing from imagination, because when you're doing something like this study, I know that if I put myself to it and I give myself 15 minutes, I can get a pretty cool drawing like these ones. And it's like, yeah, I know I can consistently here and there pull it off, and some will be better than others and I'll be more satisfied or less, but that's beyond the point, because I know what I can achieve in a certain amount of time. But when you're drawing completely from scratch, that doesn't apply. Like, you can do something really cool in a few seconds, or it can take you forever and you don't get anything that you find fulfilling. So it's, the expectation of time totally changes. But it can also go in a good way. Once you get beyond that barrier, I don't mind. I realize that, you know, sometimes I look at drawings and it's like, I've been working on this sketch for a week and it still looks like a rough sketch. And last session I spent like maybe 2 or 3 hours just sitting on my bed there with my little pen, scratching at the bottom left corner and just hatching and doing things, and I'm thinking and my mind is creating other things, but you're just there scratching that little corner. And if you allow yourself to do that, then it's fucking awesome, because there is creativity going on beyond the drawing you're working on. And I think that works in the unconscious, and then next time you grab the sketchbook, you can, sometimes I surprise myself because I can just throw up a sketch in literally like 15 seconds, and it's, at that moment it's like, oh, it's the coolest thing I've ever drawn, especially because it's so fast, because you don't even know from where it's coming. Oh yeah, that's me filling a whole area black in a large pencil drawing with a tiny pencil. Yeah, are you using a 0.3 or something like that? Okay, 0.5 is decent. It's still pretty small for filling up big areas, but it is true that the smaller the pencil tip, the easier it is to poke at the little white dots of the paper. But I feel like at least that it has like some sort of purpose. Like, the only way you can fill up a big area, like a big black area in a drawing with a pencil, is to literally just keep doing it, and it just takes the time it takes, because it's, yeah, physically, like it just, your speed and your time. But sometimes I'm talking about the aspect of you just doing and undoing the same lines, or just scratching here and there, or, you know, just poking here and there, and you're really not making progress. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, you totally know what I mean, because I've seen you painting. It's kind of therapeutic spending 2.5 hours after work just filling in blank and doing nothing else. Yeah, that is true. That's one of the satisfying things about drawing traditionally, or even if you're drawing digitally, doing things in kind of a traditional way. Because with digital, it's like, it's so easy to just lasso an entire area and just fill it up with a flat color, and it takes out the joy of literally shading. Yeah, because that's the thing, like it's exploration, it takes time. It's like if you are doing a walk or a hike, or you're driving to work, or well, no, you hate driving, or you're taking a train or whatever, you know this train is gonna take like 45 minutes to get from point A to point B. So it's kind of similar when you're drawing from reference or doing a particular process. You know this kind of takes you this time, but when you are exploring, it's like, I don't know, you go to a place you've never been. You gotta figure out what trains and what connections and what bus and how long you're gonna walk. You don't know how much time it's gonna take you. So you kind of allow yourself to, okay, this day I'm gonna do this, and you might solve it in half an hour, or it might take you the entire day, or it might take you 3 days. And with drawing is the same, but there is this barrier that builds up, and we don't allow to do that. I always wish I had more time before something else in life pulls me away, but that's it. I think there is a kind of magic to it, to the fact of, even if you only have 10 minutes available, allowing yourself to draw like you have all the time in the world. It's kind of, if you manage to achieve that mindset, it's almost never frustrating, because the time you spend drawing, it's almost timeless within the little pocket universe that you create when you're drawing. I will say my goal is to look for interesting things and explore. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess that's more what I was thinking when I started making my point, but then I got lost with the metaphor. But yeah, like it's like, yeah, drawing from reference is like trying to go from point A to point B and you're trying to find the perfect solution. But drawing from imagination is like having a free day and you just go explore. You don't know what you're gonna find, you don't know how long you're gonna be out there. It's like, yeah, you don't have any goal, you're just exploring. Look at me, preaching about the benefits of drawing from imagination, and I barely do it like 10 minutes a day. True. I guess I have to start sharing those drawings to become more confident. Or maybe I don't need to, who knows. At the end of the day, it's a personal experience. Exactly. Time drawing is well spent time. This was my mantra to myself when I was cramming my days drawing into 15 minutes out of my half-hour lunch break at work. Yeah, that's a good mantra to have. And it's crazy how much of a good mind space you can get in by just drawing, you know? It might feel like a chore if you try to cram those 15 minutes of drawing on a lunch break, but it really, I don't know, it's like a session of meditation. It really spaces you out, and then you can keep going with your day with a little bit more ease. And another hidden benefit of those quick sessions is that you have very little time to draw, so you are less likely to be judgmental about the drawing or the outcome, because what expectation are you gonna have? It's like, I'm literally here sitting on a plastic table or whatever with a little sketchbook that fits in my backpack, and I had a shit day at work, but I'm just gonna sit here and draw for 15 minutes, so it's probably gonna be crap, but who cares? And that lack of judgment, that lack of expectation usually leads to really cool creative ideas. The worst part is just thinking about it and contemplating. That's the real chore, but once you start making marks, everything is alright again. Yeah, it's so true how you can feel terrible, but the marks make it all alright.
Computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
I'm out of tea. I'd have a little bit. It's like cranberries and other little fruity stuff, you know, those dehydrated teas you can get. I think I was mixing it with a little bit of green tea as well. I don't know, I just, whatever I feel when I make the tea, I just mix a few things here and there. But yeah, I think it was like green tea with cranberries and other red berries. It's a nice combo. And my mother-in-law got me one of these little things to keep the teapot warm. So basically you just put a candle there, fit it in here, put your teapot on top, and it keeps your tea warm pretty much forever. It's pretty nice. Is your morning routine on traditional? Oh, you've never seen that? I knew it existed, but I never thought about getting it. Yeah, you should get it. It's pretty cheap. It's not a fancy thing. It's just, I guess, unusual. But it does work really well. You should totally get one. Yeah, I was saying, do you do your morning sketching routine on traditional sketchbook and paper? Or do you do like digital? Because I find it really uncomfortable to sit in front of the computer like first thing in the morning. It's kind of hard for me to draw at the time, but if it's on paper, I find it a lot more appealing. Yeah, I get it. It's more in your head than what it is for real. Yeah, because the mindset of drawing is just literally the same. Yeah, for me it's more the idea that I try to kind of stay away or push back as much as I can firing up my computer, because the moment I do it, it's like I know it's gonna grab me. So if I want to start the day and take it a bit easy, or just, you know, do my exercise or reading in the morning. I enjoy a lot reading in the mornings. I just try to not use the computer and leave it for later in the day or later in the morning. I guess I should set up a computer. Oh man, just set up a computer with nothing, no internet, no anything, just, you know, a drawing software, a tablet, and and nothing else. Maybe that would be the solution. Yeah, writing makes sense, especially since you like writing on paper too, right? I sort of planned the night before what I want future tired morning me to do when wakes up by staring on my desk before bed. Yeah, that's a good strategy. That's a good trick. Sometimes I even write handwritten notes to myself and I just put them on an inconvenient place. Where is it? Oh yeah. You see, yesterday I woke up to this note. I don't know if you can really read it. Nah. But I just wrote to myself, go outside, run, have a shower, have breakfast, bitch. Yeah, my problem with sticky notes is that you end up forgetting they exist and then they keep piling up and my brain kind of learns to ignore them. This thing is just a really casual thing that I do every other, you know, odd times, random times. It's not like a regular thing, but I will just literally put it on in front of the screen or between my laptop or on top of the drawing table or something like that that I'm gonna find whenever I go do something. Yep, the urge of having notes. We all ignore our notes. I think I have just given up. I literally have copy paper and I just, whatever I think it's an interesting note, I just write it down, fill it up with things that I want to say myself, remind myself, or whatever. And I realistically know that I'm gonna ignore the shit out of that unless it's like a really, really important thing that needs doing. But if it's something that it kind of feels important, but it's not, I just allow myself to write it because it kind of liberates my brain from dealing with that thing. And once the page is filled, I just put it in a drawer and I pile them up, and I have like literally stacks of notes and drawings and things, and I just ignore them completely. I'm just outsourcing my memory. I'm like, there, I don't need to worry about that. Just keep drawing. Yeah, I kind of started doing it out of the idea that it was going to help me remember things and do more things, but after a while I realized that the real benefit was literally that. The fact that I was just allowing myself to relax, because now it's written. You know, I can go back and check it out. I can just go there and remember. I can just, you know, open this file and find all these little things that at some moment I thought were important. And that's it. It's gone. It's almost like having a wish list on Amazon or something like that, when there is like 1,000 things you would like to buy, but realistically, like, you know, you don't need them, and even if you think you need them, a lot of them you can't even afford. But I just put them on a wish list, and it's kind of, you know, that window shopping experience. It's like, okay, it's almost like buying it, but I'm just not gonna spend the money on it, and I'm not gonna get it. It's kind of like that, but with my own thoughts. Yeah, exactly. It feels urgent, it feels expedient, and you are engaging with it, but you are really not doing anything. It's just taking you like 2 seconds to write a note.
Discovery Houston, trim to ATO.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the key element in that is that you recognize that as a benefit and you recognize the good on doing that, but don't feel guilty about not doing everything you have on your notes, or because you have too many notes and you should do that, because some people leave it really badly. It creates them a lot of anxiety to see all these sticky notes and be like, oh yeah, that thing and this other thing, I cannot forget about that and that. It's like all that, it's probably not important. Like if you can leave it like you say, like it's just, yeah, you engage with it, you take a little bit of action on that front, but move on, then it's great because it's serving a purpose. It might probably not be important in the grand scheme of things, but it's important to me now. Yeah, it's a good way of seeing it. All these notes are like, oh, none of these notes are like to-do list stuff, unless it's something really mundane. I write things like cool titles for drawings or descriptions that I might want to paint. Yeah, I get it. Like, I do the same. I mix everything. Like, I literally mix like things that I have to buy with things that I have to do with the number I have to call next to the title of a drawing or a reference for a particular idea or something I want to watch or something I read in a book, or yeah, like it can be really cool things or it can be really mundane stuff, but I just mix it all. Yeah, exactly. Perfectly orderly and would make sense to anyone who would read it. Well, I have to say that I find it kind of appealing, because I also like writing little schemes and arrows and things pointing out, and sometimes I write something on a little bottom corner and then I start pointing arrows up and left and right because I want to expand on that, and it was at the bottom of the page. So it's, yeah, it's all over the place. Today I'm starting to really get this brush. I feel like it's finally kind of, at least for this particular practice, it's kind of almost doing what I want it to do. It's a really nice feeling. I love the white strokes it makes. Yeah, it totally gives the vibe of the side of the pencil, and it's just so quick. And today I just kind of understood another concept. I kind of started to get that intuitively, but now I know another step. Like, remember like what I said the other day about you can draw little thin lines if you lift the tip, but if you hold the tip, you can fill it up with white strokes like the side of the pencil. But then there is another layer that you can do, that it's the speed which you do that. If I do it slow, it creates really dark, almost opaque lines. But if I do it faster, it kind of reduces the opacity. And if I go even faster, it creates like this really, so you can get like 3 different tones all in the same stroke, and you can create a gradient super quickly. Or you can fill up areas, and it's so freaking cool. And today I started doing this thing where I just, you know, if I want to fill up an area, I just do like these side stroke things without worrying too much about the shape, and then I go with the same brush on eraser mode and I just erase to get the shape I want. Yeah, it is so appealing because it's like drawing with a really thin pen, a brush pen, and a pencil at the same time. All without changing any setting. It's all just, you know, what you do with your gestures and your hand. It's so nice. It's unlike anything you can do on traditional, but on its own, as its own tool, I think it's a hyper versatile digital tool, because all the other tools, all the other ways I found to imitate this in Photoshop, it's like you need to use the brush and change the brush size, and then use the smudge tool, and then use the eraser, and then use the lasso. And I've been doing that for a while, so that's kind of automated. I don't need to think to do what I want to do, but still, you still have to use all those different tools and be changing tools, and sometimes you don't have the right settings on the tool and it doesn't do what you want it to do. But with this brush, it's just crazy. I mean, I still get lost sometimes and I struggle with precision and other things, but I get why it's so popular. Yeah, now I'm also getting why it works so well for this type of almost live drawing imitation, because the brush is just giving me 3 values. Like, I have the white of the paper, I have this light one, I have the mid-tone, and I have the completely dark. So I'm literally limiting my value range. So that's forcing me to make choices. Although I think this would be better on a screen tablet, because the main issue I'm having right now, which is, it's kind of cool because it generates a lot of randomness, it's the fact that, I don't know if you can get to see it on the screen, but the cursor, the mouse, it's this big massive circle, and when I draw, it resizes itself depending on the pressure that I'm applying to make thinner or thicker lines. But it's really hard to know where I'm going to draw, because I have to play the guessing game that somewhere at the center of this massive circle there is the tip of my pencil. And it's kind of, I really want to do a fine detail, and I have to kind of ghost around here and be like, yeah, I'm gonna keep going on this line. I've done like a really quick Google search, and apparently you cannot change it. I don't know, maybe there is a setting now, or maybe I haven't looked hard enough, but the only few things I found is that you cannot really change it yet. Yeah, Clip has that setting, and also Photoshop has like multiple cursors, and you can have the precision one that it's like a, you know, like a cross hatch. And I think it would be great for this to have like a cross hatch, because it makes really, really thin lines. So it would make sense if I want to go really detailed. But right now I'm using like a really big size for the brush, because I want to be able to make these wide strokes. But if I apply very little pressure, I get these tiny, thin, super crisp, dark lines. And that's great, that's lovely, but it's the lack of precision. It's just, I find that really annoying. Well, I mean, annoying if I think of using this as my main tool. Right now I'm enjoying it a lot because it creates randomness. It forces me to be loose with the drawing. And for this type of practice, it works great. Because I'm getting like super loose gesture lines, and I don't care so much about drawing little details or drawing toenails or stuff like that. It almost gives the vibe of you drawing with the side of a big charcoal, that it's like, I kind of wanted this line to be a little bit more to the right, but who cares? Yeah, it is so addictive, huh? I have random sketches here, or what? Let me check. Yeah. It's literally 5 a.m. for me. I'm in overdrive mode. Remember what we said before about putting the lines down and everything is fine? I'm in that mode. I'm ready to go to bed, but every time I make the next line, I forget that I'm tired. Yeah, that's something I need to work on. Yeah, I get it. Putting down the pen is fine too, but for me it used to be like something that I forced on myself, but nowadays it's really not. Like, the issue is not that I don't want to stop drawing, it's that I want to keep drawing, but because I enjoy it so much, not because I feel like I have to or I should draw more. It's literally like, yeah, it's like an addiction. It's like playing a really addictive video game. I just want to keep, seeing these cool marks and using the side of the pen and making these hatching marks, and just so satisfying. But I guess I have time. There is always tomorrow. Yeah, I think we have all been there. Except Steven. The rest of normal human beings, we like drawing at night. The main difference is that nowadays I'm gonna pay the consequences. When I was on my 20s, it was totally fine to do this. I would just sleep 3 or 4 hours and move on the next day. Now I'm just gonna be feeling like crap the entire weekend. I think I start trying to save my energy and excitement to keep drawing and channel it into tomorrow when I'm tired. Steven said he also was the same, and he was... Oh, his wife turned him into a morning person. I see, I didn't know that. I kind of assumed that he was a morning person by nature. I see. Yeah, my girlfriend is also trying to turn me into a morning person, but I think she gave up. I guess. I could see it that way, it's part of the artifice. Going back to the topic of time, time feels a lot different in the mornings. Right now, time is super fast. A minute ago for me it was like 4 a.m. and I was already thinking it was too late, and now it's 5:30 a.m. and it's like, when did this hour and a half happen? That never happens to me in the mornings. All right. That was a good session. Yeah, you can get a ton done in the morning. All right, Kyo. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for the conversation in the company. Good luck with your squeezing drawing time, and good luck with your apartment hunting. Catch you next time. Bye bye.